But then you can tell a great story with a guy like Brett that's going after the title. Everybody loves him. He's the ultimate baby face and stuff like, I'm going to be the hero and go get this title from the Lord of Darkness, and I'm going to bring it back to the good side.
Only thing is that the Lord of Darkness was as big a baby face as that's the interesting dynamics of things. I remember having a match with Brett. I think it's Birmingham, England. We went about 45 minutes. If you could ever find it or pull it up, I'm sure everything's on the internet now. We went about 45 minutes. We're both huge. Brett was actually a heel in the States because he did that switch, but everywhere else he was a babyface. Everywhere in Europe he was a babyface. Yeah. I was a huge babyface, and we had a match. We went about 45 minutes, and it was phenomenal, man. It would be 1 minute they would be booing the shit out of Brett, and then the next minute they're booing me. Then they're cheering him. Then they're cheering me, and then it was like a yay boo. They didn't know whether to shit or whine their watch because we took them on this wild ride and because we both wanted to be the guy, we would both shortcut, so they hated it. They were like, no, you guys can't, but it was that important. That match was that important. I think Brett might have been champion then. So it was just, it's a wrestling classic. I mean, I'm really proud. The thing with Brett, and kind of off subject of my world title reigns, but the thing with Brett is he was the one who pushed me in the door. Because Brett, especially when Brett was world champion, Brett had a certain way. He took everything very, very seriously, and like the gimmicks and stuff, he wasn't real receptive to gimmicks, and mine was a gimmick. It was over the top, but he pushed me to be able to learn how to work a 4-star match and stay in my character.
Okay.
Because I had kind of got into this zone where I can't do this, I can't do that because it doesn't work. And then when I started working with Brett, and Sean to a certain degree, but Brett especially, I mean, because he would just like, Brett was Brett, and that's what he did. So I had to learn how to stay Undertaker, but be able to work with somebody like that, and it expanded my not my horizons, but my repertoire and the things that I was able to do moving forward. Man, it helped me exponentially.
I could imagine, especially Bret Hart. I mean, there's so many things that I don't know how much conversation happens in the locker room with a guy like that, but like you said, in the ring, what he could do to expand and push you and take you to some limits and break some barriers that maybe you were holding back against other wrestlers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, say what you want about him. I mean, he's top 5, greatest wrestlers in the ring of all time.
I mean, easily, I think.
Yeah. If not top 3. And I think that to have the privilege of being able to be in a match with him, I think it was probably pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. Yeah. Brett and I, and Brett, and we were friends. They still are, but I mean, we were close, and it's always fun, like when you work with somebody that you're close with, but can stay, competitive, and like we're still both of us are kind of clawing for who's going to be on that top spot or close to the top. So it was a good, fun competition, and I got to learn from one of the greats. So,
did you ever, off topic here, did you ever go to the house? Did you ever get to experience any of that or any of that stuff?
I spent a lot of time in Calgary, but I never went to the dungeon or I tried to get booked there a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was more of a rib, I think, than anything else. Like when I was, I'd already had my run, little bitty run. I broke in Texas, in Dallas, and they were ready to move me on to somewhere else, or for me to go somewhere else. I just didn't have anything for me there, and they'd given me Stu's number, and one of the boys would answer the phone, and they would run down. I'd call every week. And they would keep me on the phone. I got no money to pay for a long distance phone call, right? They'd keep me on the phone, and then they'd finally get Stu on the phone. And it'd be the same thing every day. Yeah. How big a fella are you? And I was like, oh, sir, I'm 6'8" and 315 pounds. Yeah, you big son of a bitch, huh? Yeah. Can you, and it's just like everything was like drawn out, like you wanted to answer for him before you asked the question. Can you shoot? Like, well, I don't have any amateur background. Yeah, I said, but I'm pretty good with my hands. Oh, okay. So you're a fighter, huh? Yeah. Well, I've done my share. Yeah, and just phone call would just go on and on and on and on, and finally get to the end of it. Well, yeah, we don't have anything right now. Give me a call back in a couple weeks, and I'm like,
$25 long
distance. 25 I didn't have, and a couple weeks later I'd call, go through the same thing, talk to Smith, talk to all whoever was in the house at the time. I'd go through all of them, and then finally I'd get Stu on the phone, and it'd be the same thing. Yeah. So how big a fella are you? Oh, sir, I'm 6'8", 315 pounds. Big son of a bitch.
It's the same.
It was the exact, and I know they're all right there, and it's a big rib right now. At the time, I'm just like, oh, what the hell? Now, being smart I'm like they were ribbing the shit out of me. So
making you go broke.
No doubt, no doubt. I didn't have a pot or a window at the time, so yeah.